I recently just got back from our family vacation with a 3-year-old toddler and a 7-month-old baby, and in this video I'll share with you some things to consider before your trip that could make your experience easier and more enjoyable for the whole family. Traveling with little ones isn't always easy, so I'm making a mini-series to share with you the tips ranging from bag check to in-flight activities to packing. This is the first part, which includes tips for both pre-flight as well as some in-flight things you want to think about ahead of time. Let's start with the actual flights. I would highly suggest you book only direct flights. Having layovers when it's only an adult is already troublesome enough trying to rush from gate to gate. It will only be much worse having a little one with you. However, I know that there are some flights that have no direct flight options. In cases where you do have to book a flight with a layover, aim for the layover to be about 2 to 3 hours long. You want a longer time to make sure you have plenty of time for your little one to go to the restroom, grab a bite, and reach the next gate. As for time of departure, personally I prefer the earlier flights as those generally have a lower chance to be delayed. And the one flight that I would avoid are the red-eye ones. Red-eye is usually considered departing late at night after 9 to 10 p.m. and arriving at your destination early morning around 4 to 6 a.m. Flights might be cheaper, but your family will arrive a bit too worn out to enjoy that first day. Speaking of booking flights, you'll need to double check with the airline you're using, but typically children under 2 years old get to fly for free by sitting on the parent's lap. This saved us quite a bit of money by not having to purchase another seat for my 7-month-old daughter. I have to point out that the FAA says the safest place for a child is in a government-approved child safety restraint system and not on our laps. This means the safest place for them would be for them to be in a car seat or a CARES harness. From experience, I can tell you that navigating the airport with carry-on luggage, a stroller, a toddler, and a baby is already tough. Both getting on and off the plane is already quite the task. I can't imagine trying to juggle a car seat as well. We found that having my daughter sit on our laps worked well for us, as we had the entire row to ourselves with my wife and daughter in the window seat, my son in the middle seat, and me in the aisle seat. My wife could have a bit more privacy while nursing my daughter in the window seat, while having me in the aisle made it easier to take my son to the restroom or change my daughter's diapers. If your child is still in diapers, when you first get on the plane, make sure to ask the flight attendant which bathroom has the changing table. On this trip we took 3 different flights, and twice the changing table was in the back and once it was in the front. The next thing I want to bring up is gate checking your baby gear like strollers. If you're bringing your stroller, I highly recommend you gate check it so that you can easily have your child ride on it through the airport. Many also suggest that you gate check things like car seat, but once again, that means you have to navigate the car seat through 2 airports. The reason I suggest that you gate check items is because that means there are fewer people handling the items. So this means less chance of the item getting damaged, and it's fairly rare for items that are gate checked to get lost. If you're bringing a convertible or all-in-one car seat, they can get pretty heavy. Our Cybex Eternus S is about 26 pounds. Maybe if the car seat had proper carrying handles and the weight of it is distributed evenly, it wouldn't be too bad. But unfortunately, that's not the reality. I found that these car seat travel bags do help quite a bit. Some of them even have the options where you can wear the whole thing like a backpack, but I found the straps to be too uncomfortable due to the weight of the car seats. The handles on them though, they do help quite a bit by making it easier to lift, and they do offer a layer of protection when you're checking in the car seat. And pretty much like everything else in life, these travel bags are not made equally. I bought 2 different brands, Stockfly and Gorilla Grip. While neither bag ripped, the Gorilla Grip one drawstring did end up getting ripped off and lost. This drawstring is pretty important as it keeps the car seat inside the travel bag. So without the drawstring, this travel bag isn't really good for checking in anymore. The Stockfly one has an extra Velcro flap that makes it easier to keep the drawstring inside so it doesn't accidentally get caught on anything. The image doesn't show on their Amazon listing, but the handles on the Stockfly one are actual rubber handles, which isn't only easier to hold, but they're also more comfortable to hold. I'll touch a bit more on packing on a separate video, but another great thing about these travel bags is that you can also throw in your diapers, so it doesn't take up any room in your luggage. Besides the Eternus S car seat for my son, we also brought Arduna Car Seat, which is both a stroller and a car seat for my daughter. This saved us from having to bring an additional stroller. We also took our Arduna Leaky Trike as our stroller for my son. The trike is super handy in that it folds up nicely into a backpack style bag, and that bag fits into the plane's overhead storage. And the reason why I used it as one of my carry-on is because this means that I was the only one handling the trike, so there's almost no chance of it being damaged by someone else. While it was nice of them to include the straps so that we can wear like a backpack, I'd have to say they should have added a bit more padding on those backpack straps. They're fairly thin, so it does dig into your shoulders after wearing it for a while. Of course, another option is to rent the car seats from the car rental places. Definitely saves you from the headache of lugging all the stuff around, but keep in mind it could get pretty pricey as they range anywhere from $10 to $15 per day pre-tax. My other concern about renting car seats is I have no idea how clean they are. Earlier I mentioned that it's tough navigating through the airport with your carry-on luggage. And when I say carry-on luggage, I'm actually referring to something simple like a backpack and not a typical rolling suitcase. With young children, you really don't have hands to be rolling a luggage around with you. If you're bringing your car seat, chances are you're already checking that in. So might as well check in your rolling luggage as well. A backpack is a perfect carry-on as it frees up your hands to take care of your children. As for the contents of the backpack, you want the essentials such as diapers, travel potty seat, in-flight activities, as well as spare clothing for both the children and the parents. I'll go over in more detail about what items to pack for your carry-on as well as other items or helpful items to bring with you on your trip, and also in-flight activities for your toddlers in another video in the series. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. We weren't really worried about how my daughter would act on the plane as she's currently a little bit young and she's also nursing, so she's easier to take care of and easier to calm down if she kind of throws a tantrum. However, my son on the other hand, we had no idea how he's going to react on the plane, so we wanted to make sure he was prepared. We prepared him for the plane ride by reading the book Going on an Airplane, a toddler prep book. The reason we went with this particular book is that it uses real images. We introduced this book fairly early, like a couple months ahead of time, but didn't really start reading it nightly until a week before the flight. This book helped him understand what was going to happen before, during, and after the flight. Because of this book, he already had in mind that when the flight attendant came around asking what drink we wanted to drink, he was going to order apple juice. Every night when we read this book to him, he would say he's going to be getting apple juice. But of course, once we were on the plane and we read the menu to him, he decided he wanted cranberry juice. I know that flying can be stressful already by itself, and when you're bringing your whole family with you, it can be even more stressful. So hopefully the tips and tricks in this video has helped you out. Let me know down below in the comment section if you've traveled before or plan to travel. Are you considering bringing your own car seat or renting one? Make sure to check out my other videos in this series, and if those aren't up yet, check back in a couple weeks. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.